No, I'm not busy. I was just going through some documents of mine. I found some poetry I read as a kid, so I was reading over it again. It's not too great, but it's so cute, I don't really want to part with it. Hmm? Oh, sure, you can read it. I don't mind. I wrote lots of kinds. I think I was going through a lot of poetry books at the time and trying to write in different formats. Here's a couplet. Juice box. You sit in my lunchbox, 6 long weeks old. You've turned to green sludge and are no longer cold. I told you they weren't too great. They were just for fun. It's not like I was a professional writer or anything. Even now, nobody pays me to write poetry. Yet. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Oh, here's another. Ball. I kicked it into a sycamore, and it will be seen nevermore. It's such a terrible concept of syllable count. What do you mean? I was a lyrical genius that had the makings of Poe or something. I said nevermore in it. It could have been a classic. Wait, do you call poems classics? I don't know. Hmm? Oh yeah, I used to read poems a lot when I was little. I loved memorizing poems and nursery rhymes, tongue twisters too, though that's not quite the same. I don't know if any of those things are a thing anymore. Tongue twisters and poems, maybe. Do kids learn? We listened to a lot of spoken word poets together too, so at some point I started trying to write deep stuff, even though I wrote silly stuff too, like this one. Might I, a golden trio of December leaves, smooth the ground for weary travelers' feet? Might I even soil for feet that belong to youthful faces that have not yet strayed from home? Might I make fertile land for her somnolent voyager's last breath, so he might lay to die in a field of radiant flowers? Might I? But I am not, for I have not yet lowered myself from my high perch to be trod upon by the dirty feet of man. I think I was like 7. Give me a second, there's a date at the beginning, but they weren't all written at the same time. Okay, I was 9. So, yeah, I was quite the drama queen even then. I'm not sure what somnolent even means. Pretty sure I was using the thesaurus to try to have bigger words, like Joey in that episode of Friends when he was making the letter of recommendation, whatever you call it, for Chandler and Monica. I think they were looking to adopt a kid or something. Yeah, no, I tend to stick with words that are actually part of my vocabulary, but I guess I'm still pretty flowery with my poems. All these poems I had compiled together. I had started with a challenge that was in a poetry book I was reading or a school book about poems. This suggestion was writing a poem every day for a week to help you improve at writing poems. I think it really worked, and I've done a similar thing even more recently, like earlier last year, I think. But you do get a little burned out sometimes. It would probably work with nearly anything you wanted to improve at, though. You know, we should try it again. Wouldn't it be a fun little project for us to try? Just writing a poem every day for a week. It could be a short poem and see what we get. Should we try that? And then if we write some really bad ones, we can use them to spam your dad's email. Right. Done. Let's get some paper and pencils.